Have you been admiring all the lovely acrylic pour videos? I have. Seems like a fun way to make unique work, right? Hi, my name is Pearl and I am the Beading Gem, here to share all my tutorials and adventures in jewelry making. This tutorial first appeared on my blog. While I wanted to learn how to make acrylic pour art, I wasn't keen on scaling up so much as scaling down for jewelry. So I wondered if I could make use of leftover acrylic pours. Many crafters just pour them on something like wax paper and let it set. They then use these thin acrylic skins to make all kinds of jewelry. What I wanted to do was to use these leftovers from a coaster project and pour these directly on laser cut wood. First, make up the pouring medium. I got help from Julie Katz, the Australian artist behind Pouring Your Heart Out. I have linked her video tutorial for making acrylic pour coasters in the description box below. As you can see from Julie's formula, white craft glue, water and latex paint extender is needed. Most pourers use Floetrol paint extender brand. I used a different brand which worked just as well. Instead of 100 mils, I actually made up double that amount for my 6 coaster project. So my pouring medium mix contained 120 mils of white craft glue, 60 mils of water and 20 mils of paint extender. I poured the medium into several plastic cups and mixed different colors of acrylic paint in each. I used a 1-to-1 ratio of medium to paint. In my case, I added 30 mils of medium to 30 mils of paint. Then a couple of drops of lubricant to each cup. Many crafters use pure silicone oil, which is used for treadmills. I used another suggested alternative, coconut milk hair serum. The major ingredient of this hair serum is dimethicone, which is often used in cosmetics and hair products. It makes hair shiny and smooth. The lubricant promotes the formation of cells in acrylic pours. I'm also wondering if baby oil could work. If anyone has tried that, please let me know in the comments below. You do not need artist grade acrylic paints. The craft ones will do just as well and cost less. Other supplies include your choice of pre-cut wood coasters in any shape, some cork sheet, and laser cut wood supplies. These particular wood pieces come from my shop, The Beading Gem, on Etsy. The full list of supplies are in the description box below. The general technique is the same for coasters and jewelry, with some adjustments made for small jewelry pieces. I will begin with the coasters. Many acrylic pourers use puppy training pads to contain their messes. I just made do with layers of newspapers on top of a large plastic garbage bag and the lids of plastic food containers. I raised the coasters on small containers to allow the paint to fully cover and run over the edges. I used a spare plastic cup and added different layers of paint medium mixes, about 30 mils worth, and dump the contents onto the coaster. Once the cup is lifted, the acrylic pour will flow to the edges. I used a small brush to coax the mix to fully cover the surface. It's messy work, so gloves are recommended. The cells begin to form, resulting in unique patterns. Tilt the coasters and let the paint mix move to control some of this pattern formation. You can add glitter if you want. You must protect the acrylic paint in the final project. Julie herself recommends KBS Diamond Finish Clear Coat. The aerosol can is less costly. Resin also works well. I use Little Windows Brilliant Resin, which is a jewelry grade doming and casting resin. Little Windows is the sponsor of this tutorial. I also recommend Art Resin, which levels well and is suitable for large projects. I also use a little too much resin, so I tried to remove it from the edges as much as possible before it cured fully. There were unfortunately resin bumps on the underside, so these were sanded off. All that dust had also to be removed with a damp cloth. I glued the coasters onto cork sheets with some heavy-duty spray adhesive and trimmed off the excess. The coasters turned out great. I also had several laser cut wood jewelry pieces ready while at the pouring stage. So I used a small glass vial initially, shown here, to make my layered paint mix from the leftover medium paint mix, but found that I couldn't easily pour anything out due to the surface tension. So what I did eventually use was to make up the layers in a small plastic cup, and rather than dumping the entire contents of the cup, I simply added a little at a time to cover each wood piece, allowing time and a little coaxing with the brush for the paint mix to reach the edges. Once dried, the bottoms of the pieces were sanded. I folded up some sandpaper to get into the awkward corners. If you change your mind and want to add glitter, you can apply some Mod Podge to some parts and sprinkle glitter on. Once dried, apply 2 to 3 generous coats of Mod Podge to seal. I also tried another sealer, but I didn't find it as shiny or as thick as using resin. So, as I mentioned before, Brilliant Resin is a great jewelry grade resin. Use the applicator stick to carefully go around holes. Pop any bubbles with a toothpick. Always remember to cover the work while letting the resin cure overnight. Otherwise, you might find dust particles on the work. Add whatever metal findings you need, like bails and ear wires. If you like this technique for jewelry making, just skip the coasters, make up 50 to 100 mils of pouring medium and go from there. Have lots of wood cuts ready for acrylic pouring, and remember to have fun. If you like this tutorial and wish to see more, please like and subscribe. Also, check out my blog for lots more tutorials, tips, and inspirations on jewelry making. See you later.